Hello, how are you? I'm going to do a bit of a day to night zhuzh today. I've been out for the day. You can see that like I've got my face on, but it's just looking a bit sweaty. So I'm going to perk and freshen everything up and then throw a bit of an eye into the mix as well. So I'm going to start with CC cream in medium. Now I have got this on and like it does last really well, but if I was going out for the evening, I'd just want to really press some extra coverage into areas where I know I'm likely to go a bit more red. The irony is I'm absolutely not going anywhere and I'm actually doing this makeup to look nice for another video I'm about to do. So yeah, it's all going on here this evening. See, like the tiniest bit of that, I already feel loads more polished. Lippy was something new coming from IT Cosmetics that I'll be able to tell you about soon. I've taken like the bulk of it off just for the sake of the zhuzh, but there's something lovely on its way that I've been wearing for the past few weeks that I think you'll really like. No. Little zhuzh kind of done. I'd say I used just under a pump to do that. Now most people would use a pump of makeup for the whole face, but I do go a bit full with my coverage, so you probably wouldn't need that much yourself. Okay, now I'm going in with one of these Givenchy Ombré Interdite kind of cream shadows. This is the shade 03. Now these, I've used a few of these over the past few months. They're really good. Once you get them on and once they dry, they literally don't move. So what I'm going to do is just press it in with my finger as best I can and then just buff out the edges. Now, obviously you can use this on its own, absolutely fab, but I'm going to press a bit of a glitter over it, and so they act as a really lovely base if you are going to layer something on top. I've spilled something there. Oh, there we go. And you can see there, look how nice and blended that looks. And I've literally just done that with my finger. I'll have a little look close up in the mirror actually, so that it looks neat close up. Yeah. Perfect. And with anything like that you ever use, I'd do one eye at a time. I know the urge would be to put them on at the same time and get them looking symmetrical, but actually you don't want it to dry on you before you've had time to have a play. So I'll just press a bit more of that on and then I'll go in with the same finger. I sometimes find with creams, you're just as well to go in with your finger, because sometimes if you buff it out with a brush, the brush takes too much of it off. I'm actually going to just wipe that finger on a bit of I've got so much product on that now that I'm smushing the product into the area that I want to blend. So we don't want any of that. I just want that nice soft finish on that eye as well. There we go. I think that's coming together. Lovely. Now, even though that is, I mean, they dry nice and quickly, but I feel like they're just tacky enough that they'll hold what I'm going to put on next. And again, I'm going to use my finger for this. So this is the MAC Spellbinder Shadow in Stars Align. I did show you this the other week. I don't know if you will have seen, I did like a purple smoky video. But these shadows, if you just press your finger into them, they have that same ripple on them. And it's just like the way the pigment is in there has a magnetic pull. And that's how it kind of lands in that shape. They don't leave that impression on your eye, but they just give a really lovely, soft, it's like glitter for you if you think the sound of glitter sounds a bit too much, but you want a bit of shimmer. How's that looking? Love that. I am just going to take a little blending brush and blend the edge of that line so that it's a bit smoother. But yeah, so nice that you can just pat it on. Again, with glitters, sometimes it's just as well to pat it on with your finger, because using a brush can kind of fluff it up a bit too much. I'm just going in with a little wipe there whenever I've been using my hands. So I'm just gonna gently buff. Might even pick up a tiny bit to just buff that edge. There we go. 5 minutes, I'm not doing too badly. Okay, now one of the things I think will really make this pop is a bit of highlighter on the inner corners. So I'll do that in a second, but first I'm going to go in with MAC Squid, which is a retractable pencil. And I'm just going to take this through the waterline. I don't think I'm going to take any on the upper lids. I was doing this all over Christmas, right? Didn't put any liner on the upper lids, and it just really shows off the colour of your eyeshadow. Like on me, by the time I look straight ahead at you, if I have a big liner flick there, you can barely see the colour of that shimmer. Whereas if I just skip that step, you can see exactly which colour you've put there. And it made me more inclined to experiment a bit. I was really enjoying doing my makeup over Christmas, actually. I know that looks mad how I'm doing that. If I didn't wear lenses, I'd just get straight in, but I have to be a bit careful. Okay, so I'm going to take this little NARS palette. It's so handy. You've got your highlighter, blush, bronzer. It's one of the limited collections they did. So this is the Motu Tane face palette. However, I've just thought, let me just set with a bit of powder before I do that. And then I'm going to take that through my kind of cheeks and the outer edges of my face. Centre, I'm just going to stick to my setting powder. I actually need to top up my mascara, my makeup bag's there. I'll do that in a second. Same brush I've just done my powder with, and as you can see, I've just focused on the centres of the face. I'm going to take that highlighter shade and put a bit of that under that brow bone. 7 minutes 50. I'd like to be done in 10, so let's see. Little tiny brush, go into those inner corners. Golden Oldie Peaches makeup tip. Get those inner corners really bright. It will just illuminate the whole thing. And then I'm going to take a big fluffy brush in the bronzer and just sweep that through the cheeks. That little palette is quite small, so I'm actually rolling the whole brush round in it to make sure I'm picking up enough bronze. There we go. A little bit through the forehead, down the nose. Lovely. And then I'm going to take a slightly smaller, this is the Bobbi Brown face blender and bronzer brush, and I'm going to take that face blender section. I personally just have to be careful that I don't pick up too much pink when I use blushes, because you know I'm quite rosy. And that's just a lovely fluffy brush that'll give me a precise little finish there, but it won't pick up too much that my whole cheek is covered. I'm going back in with that on that bronzer brush, on the highlighter brush, sorry. Little Peaches highlighter brush. Take a little bit on the tip. And there. Cupid's bow. I'm going to try a tiny bit just there. I don't do this when my skin is too textured, but but I don't think it's too textured today. And then when you look from side to side, it can just really enhance your glow. Gone up a bit too high there, but just adds a bit of something. Now I'm gonna go in with, let me just grab my mascara and top up my lashes, because that's gonna drive me mad. Just give them a nice thick coat again. I felt a little lash drop actually. Nice thick coat, especially when you've used a bit of glitter, it can sometimes drop onto the lashes, and you just want to make sure everything looks really jet black to make everything else pop. And then, oh, that's made such a difference. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of Peaches liner in Feline. Now, if you like a brown liner, they've got this set of brown liners, and it's not pink, it's not nude, it's not whatever. They're all a brown undertone, and they are just lovely. This is obviously a pinky brown, but they're very flat. So, really nice. So really going in with the brown. You can see as well, they're really creamy. So the pigmented are the last, but to apply them, you're not dragging them on, kicking and screaming. They'll go on nice and easily. Get rid of that. I'll use that another day when I've got nothing underneath, so you can see what it's like not on top of a red. And then I'm going in with Doll Beauty Double Booked Lippy. Lovely browny velvety to go with that liner. And then I think that's, oh no, one last thing. I'm not going to put more brow product through my brows because I'm happy with them. Look at me zhuzhing my hair. Just going to put a bit of It Brow Power Pomade Gel through my eyebrows and just fluff them up and get them looking nice and polished and put into shape. There we go. I'd love to say ready for a night out, but ready to film a video about rosacea skincare. Yeah, let me know if there's anything else that you'd kind of like a look on, and I will see you again soon.